Another day, another Demon 170, another chance for an engine to fail. And this one is another doozy of a hoax that I know somebody will be crying about in the forums. But the fact of the matter is, I'm getting sent more and more cases of Demon 170s going down with engine failures, and most of the time, I don't even make videos on them. But this one case right here is another extreme example of what some owners go through. Now, this owner, who happens to be an Air Force veteran for 20 years, buys basically a Demon 170. His Demon 170 starts leaking oil within weeks, and then once they figure out why the oil leak was happening, Loose Bolt City. And what if I told her that this veteran's Demon 170 has been sitting at a dealership for months, the owner has been ghosted by Stellantis, and he has no idea what's going to happen with his engine in his Demon. Okay, my over 45,000 friends and the 66% of you guys who tune in faithfully but don't want to be my friend just yet. Hit the subscribe button to join the channel, and let's get into this topic that's going to make some people cry about me covering this Demon 170, because they just hate that I covered Demon 170 that goes down with engine issues. It was fine when I was exposing dealers that were screwing active duty service members out of their Demon 170s. It was fine when I was pushing to save owners hundreds of thousands of dollars from pressuring dealerships to drop their ridiculous markups on Demon 170. But now when I talk about engine issues, especially when Dodge already admitted to before this car launched, they was basically having engine issues and delayed the actual launch of the vehicle. And especially when these issues right here are something that can affect every single Demon 170, some guys start writing all these daggone essays dozens, if not hundreds of times. But every Demon 170 video, I'm going to lay down the same exact challenge, and it's the same challenge I did last year. I want someone to get Dodge to go on the record that any video that I've made or any document that I posted about and any photo that I posted of customer cars is fake, a lie, or whatever, right? 10 months later, after basically asking the whole entire world to expose me as a fraud, crickets. Having said that, let's get into this situation with this Demon 170. Now, this Demon 170 has around 2,800 miles on it. Now, this Air Force veteran bought this Demon 170 a few months ago, and he bought it used, and at some point it developed an oil leak. So the work was done to replace the rear main seal to fix the oil leak, and surprise, surprise, that did not fix the issue. Now, if you guys remember my hoax from last year of the Demon 170 that was missing a bearing, the vehicle was as well leaking oil mysteriously. The rear main seal was replaced, and that still did not fix the oil leak. So you can kind of see where I'm going with this situation right here, and it's going to be very interesting in a second. With the rear main seal replaced and the oil still leaking, the next thing to do was basically drop the oil pan and see what the heck was going on internally. And lo and behold, from what I have been told and what I can see, I'm not even going to say it. A picture is worth 1,000 words. So let me channel my inner OC motivator, and then let's go and actually take a gander at these photos. Now, this customer, he basically did send me an actual video clip of what was going on in this actual Demon 170 in the bottom end where they dropped the actual oil pan down. But I can't really download the video and show it to you guys in this video, so I'm going to basically, I took some screenshots of it, that way I can actually show you guys what I'm talking about here. So here goes basically, he took some photos as well, and I think he took some screenshots as well and sent them to me. So let's go look at this first one that he sent me. Now, if you're looking at this, you can, I know you probably see that behind me too. It's movie magic. I got another screen set right here off camera. That's why a lot of times you see me looking off camera, I'm looking at this other screen right here at times. But if you go and look right here, you can see a yellow block. So if you got a yellow block, that's the Demon 170's block. Red Eyes got the red block. Hellcat's got an orange block. So here we go right here. And you got these two loose bolts right here. Now, I don't know if this was as far down as they were when they actually dropped the oil pan, but this is what he sent me in this image, that you got two loose bolts right here. So zoom out, you can kind of get a good idea of exactly where this is in position of which actual part of the engine this is actually affecting and stuff. So let's go to the actual next image, And for this next image right here, we can see the picture of a Demon 170 logo right here. So this, in fact, like I said, is a Demon 170. You got the picture of Demon 170 on parts, and like I said in the previous actual photo and stuff, we got a yellow block. So this is not a hoax. These are not photos that I made up and stuff. These are actually photos that the actual customer has sent me, and I'm gonna get to the screenshots in a second. But yes, here we go right here, Demon 170 logo. And see, is there anything else I noticed in here? We'll go ahead and skip to the actual next one. And then, okay, this right here is the little window tray that he had told me about. And this little section right here, this is where he was talking to me about the actual bolt was hitting his window tray and stuff. So there you go right there. You know, if I zoom in, it's a little blurry and stuff, but you can see right there the little indentation of the bolt hitting that tray right there. So it's looking like the bolts were backing out, and then they was getting to the point where they was just like banging on that daggone tray or just digging into it as the daggone engine was vibrating or whatever. So we have that picture right there, and then let's go and look at this picture. This is, I think this is another picture of the same thing. So he sent me that one. So this right here, okay, so it's slanting down away from that opening right there. So this is the same picture. But yeah, there go right there. There's a little damage right there in that window tray. I can't tell whether or not this is like another bolt hole or this is the same bolt hole. So yeah, it's slanting away from that opening right there. So let me go back for a second. Yeah, so this is probably the same picture, just turned upside down. Because I don't see any other damage right here. So I think it just is this one freaking cap area that was basically the one that's affected in his Demon 170. That's where it looks like to me. Then let's go and actually look at this next picture right here he sent me. Yeah, this is like basically a better picture of it. You can see right there, that's where that bolt was damaging that. And I wonder if this is where the other side of the bolt is, where it was damaging right there. And that would make sense right there, because the tray is going to have like a little concaveness to it. I don't know why that thing be doing that at times. Let's see. Okay, so here goes another full shot. So you can basically get your full shot right here. Let me see if I can go and make this bigger for you guys. And let me move myself over here. So there you go right here. So here we go with a full picture of what is going on right here. And you basically know exactly where the bolts are coming loose at. So I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it, because I know this is going to be another hoax when people come and try to watch this video, try to, you know, break things down. But, you know, you got like right here, a yellow Demon 170 block. And then, of course, like I said, you got the pictures of the Demon 170 stamped on these actual caps right here. And then you see these loose bolts right here. So I could have sworn he said when he talked to me that, yeah, these caps were both loose as well. And when they dropped it, and I want to say there's another photo that we're going to see. And okay, this is an actual screenshot he sent me of the video, because I remember this right here. So this is where they go in. This right here, like another angle of the same exact caps there who are coming loose. So let's go ahead and scroll to another one. And this is where he was just showing me in a video that, hey, yeah, you can easily turn these suckers and they're easily coming out. And I guess just because the little window tray was underneath, and that was the reason why they didn't just fall out. But it seems though, from what he was telling me, just this one group right here is the only one that had a problem. There was no 2 or 3 different ones. It was just this one particular one. And then I want to say in, yeah, this photo right here. So basically, he was in the video that they sent me. He's underneath the car shooting this, and then he basically pans up and shows me right here on the side right here that this bolt right here was actually missing when they actually went and looked at his car. Because not really easy to see these bolts and stuff, because you see how it's kind of hidden in there. But he was telling me that I think the bolts on both sides were actually missing in his car, and that basically I think he said it was only like no, I think he said one bolt on the other side was still in there, but it was loose, and that was really the only bolt that was holding that sucker in there. So all the rest of them was like coming down all the way loose. One side was missing, and the other side was basically loose, and then that was just holding that cap in place while the car had like, I think like 2,800 miles on there, right? So I don't know when exactly this situation happened and stuff, but he was telling me that once they noticed the oil leak, that he only drove the car like a couple of times, because he had to wait basically like a month for them to actually get the actual the rear main seal in stock. Got that replaced. I think he said he drove the car just a few times after that, and the car still leaked oil. And then that's when they dropped the oil pan and seen this, and the car hasn't really been driven since. Let me see if there's any more pictures that I had of this. Yeah, I think that's the last picture. So since I got everything bigger, let me go back to the beginning. So yeah, like you see right here at these different angles, you can see these bolts are clearly coming loose, and then I can see right there the little Demon 170 little stamp right there. And this is basically all the same photos we looked at. I'm just gonna have them bigger on the screen, that way you can see everything. And yeah, so basically, like I was saying, so basically he was telling me that his car has been sitting at the dealership since the beginning of May, and Stellantis basically wanted him to basically leave his car there, and they were going to dispatch an engineer to come and look at his car because they was concerned. And I'll probably put it on the screen where he'll tell me that they was concerned that his car may have a manufacturing process defect or something like that, right? So they wanted him to basically wait for an engineer to get dispatched in order for the engineer to look at the car and see what or not what they was going to do, right? Because they don't know whether or not they're going to actually want the engine back, because sometimes, you know, sometimes from what I've seen, sometimes Stellantis want these engines back, and instead of just basically fixing the engine and then send the owner on his way, sometimes Stellantis just wants that entire engine and sends it back to their daggone headquarters and stuff, I guess, for them to test it. So this right here is another situation where like Stellantis does not know what they're going to do with this engine. Do they want to just basically just tighten everything up and send this guy along his way, or they want to pull the engine, his engine, out of this car, send it back to CTC, wherever they go to send these engines at, to actually go and have a closer look at it or whatever. So he doesn't know exactly what Stellantis is going to do, because they've been ghosting him basically since May. And here we are, this is like July 3rd when I'm actually recording this, and you know, still no word from Stellantis. Now he had told me I think the end of May that I think Stellantis wanted the serial number off of this block. So they had to take basically the, I think the serial number was hidden right here behind this AC compressor and stuff, because he was telling me that the dealership had to take the AC compressor off in order for them to get to the actual serial number. So only reason I could think the reason why they want the serial number off of his car is because they basically want to, I guess, trying to track down what batch this engine came out of, or when this engine was made. I mean, there's really no other reason I can see why they want this particular serial number and stuff. It's not like they don't know or have records on this car and stuff, but it's just interesting that they basically had to, from what you tell me, they had to take all this stuff off the car and basically had to go and drain his AC, and then he has to get all this stuff reinstalled back on there and get his AC basically recharged in his car. So that's basically where the owner is sitting at right now, where his car is literally sitting at a dealership since May. Here it is 2 months later. He's only owned the car since February. So February, March, April, May, June, July. So out of 5 months, this car's been sitting at a dealership for 2 months. So the car been broke for 2 months. He's owned it for 3 months, driving it and stuff. He probably had the issue probably in the first month or two of him buying his car used. And maybe that was the reason why this owner sold the car. So the original owner sold the car, so I don't know. But from what the owner was telling me, that Stellantis is basically, like I said, he had ghosted him and they're not really responding back to him. He told me that for a while the dealership wasn't even saying anything to him as well. Everything's in limbo. Like his $130, $40, $50, $200,000 car is sitting at the dealership for like 2 months, getting pushed in and out of the dealership because they be taking it in and outside of the actual service bay because they need the lifts and stuff. So his car has been sitting there, and he reached out to me like a month ago, and I was trying to, you know, talk to Stellantis in the background in order to get them to actually give this guy a decision. Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to basically fix this engine and send him along his way? Are you going to want to replace this engine and give him a whole brand new one and send him along his way? What is Stellantis going to do? And they just basically kind of ghosted him. And like, he's not the only person I've seen where their Demon 170 breaks, and basically they try to, you know, sit there, wait for the dealership Stellantis to contact them, and nothing happens for months, right? I had another guy who you guys probably know, where if you drag race a Demon 170, 9 times out of 10, you will know who this person is. But he had to reach out to me because Stellantis ghosted him as well, because he got his engine replacement a while ago, and his engine is still sitting there at the dealership. Like, 3 months later and stuff, and then there's like no resolution, like what is Stellantis going to do, right? So I'm probably not going to expect to get a response from Stellantis or Dodge, because I already have a message out to them about the actual dampeners in the actual Demon 170s, whether or not they'll allow owners or like dealerships to take the dampers off and torque them and put them back on the cars. So I'm waiting on Dodge to give me kind of like an official answer about that, and I'll make a video about that situation. But once I get that message back, which I probably, hopefully I'll get somebody next week when they all come back from 4th of July vacation and stuff, hopefully I'll actually get a chance to get a response back for this car right here, which, like I said, this is an Air Force veteran's car, and it's just been sitting there for weeks, but hell, not weeks, it's sitting there for months and stuff, with really no resolution on what exactly is going to happen with this car. There goes the D170 logo right there. So I just basically wanted to bring this to your guys' attention, because the D170 engine is a very, very great engine, but I think we can all just, like I said, safely just say that there are some questionable assembly issues with these actual engines, because it just way too many times I'm getting photos or I'm got documentation, stuff like that, of things going on with these engines. So that's basically gonna be it for this video. I know this video got kind of long and stuff, me showing these photos, but this is just something that, you know, like I said, every single time I make actual videos about these Demon 170s going down, like I literally make next to nothing when it comes to you know, covering these actual cases with these Demon 170s, right? I mean, these guys think that I make hundreds and thousands of dollars and crap just covering stuff. I'll give you examples right here, right? That Demon hoax that I did last year, they only paid me like $80-something. Other times I've talked about this actual damper stuff and made videos about Demon 170 issues and stuff. I barely even make $100. So if I made like 7-8 videos, I might have made $700 in an entire year, right? It just, these dudes just running their mouths and don't have any idea that when I cover these issues with these cars, I'm doing it for the customer, because sometimes the customer just hung out to dry and have no actual recourse, or really no one to actually go to in order to get their situations resolved. And you know, this stuff right here is like, I mean, who knows if your Demon 170 is going to have this same exact issue of stuff just coming loose. And this is why I want Dodge to basically fix this, because these demons should not be doing this. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. Should Dodge basically recall all the Demon 170s? And I mean, me honestly, I think it would be a great look if they basically recall all the Demon 170s like they did the first time with the spark plug recall, drop everyone's oil pan, make sure everyone's caps and rod caps and all that stuff, make sure every bolt is torqued down properly, take the damper off, basically go ahead and make sure you torque those bolts down as well too, and then put everything back together, give everybody like a free oil change, send all these oil samples off to like Blackstone or whatever, and that way they get like a little oil analysis just to make sure that all these engines are basically broken in properly. And me, in my perfect world, get everybody like a 10-year 100,000 mile warranty and then be done with it. Like, there should be no more questionable engine assembly issues with these daggone cars if they did that, right? So that's just me, but let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. And if you want to see the actual damper that Dodge is going to basically work on in the background, I had to call my hater out on, you can actually watch this video right here. And until the next time, I'm out.